So if we're talking about, well, the kind of buzzwords in the technology world, cloud computing, I guess we absolutely have to address. I mean, it's been something that has been talked about in the financial world for some years now, but we never seem to have quite made it there. Is now finally cloud computing's time?
I think, cloud computing is certainly an agenda on most banks today, right? And, if just to recap, cloud computing really envisages delivering the entire computing infrastructure, the CPU, the storage, the network, pretty much on demand over internet, right? Now, there are certain really concerns about data privacy and data security issues which have applied brakes on that particular technology. But having said that, most banks have adopted a very well calibrated strategy here. One, what they call as internal or private cloud. The other one is what they call as external or public cloud. It's all about starting first within, right, in terms of rationalizing their complete IT infrastructure using virtualization software and higher capacity, let's say blade servers and so on, which means that you really consolidate the overall computing infrastructure, and then the virtualization means that you are able to offer for internal applications or internal usage, storage and computing, etc., pretty much on demand, right? So that's about the internal things. At the same time, people have looked at external cloud and external infrastructure for newer applications through cloud service providers, right? And in which case that the entire responsibility of delivering virtualization, both on the infrastructure side as well as on the application side, is left with cloud service providers, right? And most banks have started to look at the cloud computing from a perspective of let's say starting with non-mission critical situations such as email exchanges or business continuity services pretty much on external cloud today, right? And there are privacy and data security issues are always there, and there are solutions that the industry has offered, and it is pretty much clear that the vulnerability of an external cloud or a public cloud in the area of data security and privacy is not more than what you would otherwise see in an internal or private cloud, right? So it's a question of time before I think that the industry adopts the public cloud more openly and more holistically. If not financial institutions, I think there is a great movement that I see from the SME community in adopting and leveraging the public cloud infrastructure today.
So it's presumably the security concerns which have been the biggest concern for banks and the like.
Yeah, it is. It is. I think that primarily it is the security and the data privacy, and the ability of the institutions to pretty much convince internally the group risk and group audit committees as well as the regulations eventually. But there are clearly examples of banks who have done that, right, for applications, right? And I think it's the momentum. What we see in the industry is the momentum towards cloud computing is picking up, and people, when they look for new applications today, they don't want to buy a license. They don't want to buy and implement something, and they would like to pretty much buy a service, and that service is pretty much operating on a public cloud.
Sure. So maybe it's kind of the dual forces of cost cutting and perhaps just a mind shift and becoming more comfortable with the idea of cloud computing are going to continue to accelerate its growth.
Absolutely, and I think everything is around internet today, and that helps as well.